Pete Davidson is crying tears because Kim Kardashian told him this. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson enjoyed a whirlwind affair for 9 months. It was no surprise when the relationship ended. What transpired between Kim and Pete? And why was Kim chastised for relying on Pete? Did Pete say anything about Kim allegedly using him? You will know the answers to all these questions by the end of this video. Good to see you again on my channel. In today's video, we'll talk about the beginning and the end of Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's relationship. Be sure to watch all the way through to the end to learn the truth. The world has returned to the Kanye West-Pete Davidson-Kim Kardashian conflict. However, this time it's a bit different because Pete finally acknowledged the controversy after several months of silence. Kim and Pete met on the set of Saturday Night Live. Also, it featured a sketch of Aladdin and Jasmine sharing a stage kiss. Kim talked about kissing Pete on SNL in an interview with Not Skinny But Fat, saying, "And then when we kissed, it was just like, haven't kissed anyone in 10 years, so maybe I'm just like stupid." Kim and Pete began dating soon after SNL, and things seemed to be becoming more severe within the months that followed. Pete went on to bond with Kim's children, and even made a brief appearance on her Hulu show The Kardashians after they made their relationship public. Kim revealed her affair with Pete on Instagram, with a slideshow of images showcasing Pete on the gram. There's a Photoshop disaster tale with the photos. Kim and Pete have also made an effort to visit each other since they started dating, flying from New York to Los Angeles. Many individuals were not surprised when the partnership came to an end. The news of their separation was a bit startling to some people because close pals reported that they were still smitten with each other and sent love notes while they were apart at the beginning of August 2022, while Pete was filming in Australia. Kim and Pete are in daily communication, according to The Insider. They email each other love notes when one of them is asleep, and video call when their schedules coincide. After 9 months of dating, a source on Page 6 verified that Kim and Pete had chosen to part ways. The source stated that Kim is 41 and Pete is 28. Pete is impulsive and spontaneous and wants her to fly to New York or wherever he is on a moment's notice. Pete and Kim are just in very different locations right now. Kim has 4 children and it isn't that easy. She needs to focus on them. The sources also noted that Kim has a lot of responsibilities outside of motherhood, such as her starring role in Hulu's The Kardashians and several businesses, including her recently launched Skim line. In addition to the relationship and other issues in her life, The Insider also claimed that her ex-husband Kanye West was a major cause of stress in her life. Although he hasn't been as prominent lately, Kanye has long been vocal about his distaste for the couple, a source claimed, especially when Kim is with someone else. The breakup generated a great deal of buzz on social media, prompting one user to tweet, "Kim and Pete together for exactly 9 months, and announced breaking up the day the baby is born." According to one commenter, "You all thought they were really about to have a baby together. Like what 41-year-old woman starts family number 2 with a 28-year-old? $1 billion less valuable than her husband. It was always a fantasy. Y'all were duped." When Kim visited Pete in July in Australia, she posted on her Instagram stories, "Girls can see the difference between 200 shades of nude lipstick, but they can't see red flags," which some people claimed was a hint at the separation weeks before it was officially announced. The cryptic words, "Sometimes I wish I could go back in life, not to change things, just to feel a few things twice," were included in another quotation that she published on her Instagram stories. Other users of social media expressed their sympathy for Pete, saying they felt bad for Kim for abusing him for 9 months in a row, and for doing so even after Pete made it apparent that he was ready and wanted to settle down. Followers claimed that Kim dumped Pete after she was done with him, and that they were sorry since they thought Pete had put effort into the relationship. For instance, Kim shared several images on Instagram on July 11th, and keen-eyed viewers observed that Pete got another tattoo in respect for Kim that read KNSCP, which stands for Kim and her kids, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, and the names Jasmine and Aladdin on his collarbone. Along with Kim's name being branded on his chest, he also got the words "My girl is a lawyer" written on his chest. Fans also claim that Pete made it quite apparent that he wishes to settle down someday, saying on the Heart to Heart that having children is his ambition and that Kim completely used him. Pete is unquestionably a family man. He declared, "My favorite thing ever, which I've yet to achieve, is I want to have a kid. That's like my dream." So about the fact that Pete was sincere and Kim was merely using him, someone else said, "I hope he doesn't do anything rash, because Kim used to get Kanye jealous. Pete was looking for something good and serious. Kim and the Kardashians were looking for Hulu ratings." They had little regard for Kanye's mental health, so they're not gonna care if something happens to Pete. The commenter was referring to how Kanye made things difficult for Kim and Pete when they first started dating. Kanye insisted that Kim is still his wife on the Drinks Champs podcast, saying that he had never even seen divorce paperwork. And then he addressed his relationship with Kim again at the Los Angeles Mission's annual Thanksgiving celebration. Kanye also criticized Pete when he shared a screenshot of a TMZ post with the heading Kanye West says, "God will bring him and Kim back together," which inspires millions on his Instagram story. Kanye then included Pete's name in his January 2022 song Easy. Kanye openly threatened Pete towards the end of the song, referring to his 2002 automobile accident and saying, "God rescued me from that disaster just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass." Let's not even get started on the song video in which he buried Pete alive. Kanye also made it plain on social media with a series of memes and postings that he wanted Pete out of his and his children's lives. Pete revealed on The Breakfast Club that Kanye called him in November 2021, the same month Kim and Pete had reportedly started dating, and disclosed some personal data about Pete. Then Kanye gave a hint about what had been troubling him by sharing a part of Beyoncé's ego. "It's too big, too wide, it's too strong." Pete ultimately replied to the saga via his friend and fellow stand-up comedian Dave Sirius, who posted a series of since-deleted photographs of claimed text on his Instagram account, captioning the screenshots, "Message from Pete." They were talking things out, and that is when Kanye asked Pete to tell him where he was, and Pete sent him a selfie. Another thing that eagle-eyed admirers noticed in Pete's texted photo was a tattoo that appears to read Kim, situated below one shoulder. Kanye responded to Pete's selfie with, "Glad to see you're out of the hospital and rehab," a clear reference to the mental health challenges Pete has faced, having openly disclosed his borderline personality disorder on multiple occasions. After the exchange went public, many social media users praised Pete for finally standing up to Kanye after months of online harassment. In case any boys are wondering what women see in Pete, this is it. He's a man, not a boy. One user remarked on Twitter, "He admits his flaws, puts his woman before himself, and keeps her as safe and drama-free as possible. That's a solid partner who makes us laugh." Others claimed that despite Pete's claims that he wanted things hidden, a buddy of his posted the actual exchange on Instagram, leaving everyone wondering why Pete consented to the messages being released. According to a source close to the case, Kanye was instructed by his team not to broadcast the text message exchange on social media, and instead address the concerns with Kim not allowing him to see his children, but Pete's friend did so anyway. Following the breakup, Pete experienced some small emotional ups and downs before regaining his composure. This concludes today's video. If you enjoyed watching this, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more content just like it.